We opened up Mark chapter 2, which saw Jesus enter into Capernaum, and he was in a house there teaching, and everybody came to see him. And there were four men who brought their friend who was paralysed. They carried him on a mat, and of course they couldn't get into Jesus. So they went up outside onto the roof, flat roof. They kind of dug their way through, and they lowered down their friend on this mat to get to Jesus. Now Jesus saw him hanging there, and he said to him, this paralysed man, "Son, your sins are forgiven." And then just left him hanging. Your sins are forgiven. Not what I thought Jesus would have said. But actually over here, there were some Pharisees, some teachers of the law, who were thinking in their heads, whoa, hold on here, only God can forgive sins. And of course, they were right, actually. But Jesus, knowing that they were thinking these things, he said, well, what's easier? For me to say, son, your sins are forgiven, or to say, get up, take up your mat and walk. And then Jesus said, but to show that the Son of Man, that's his way of speaking of himself, but to show that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins, I say to you, the paralysed man, get up, take up your mat and walk. And he did. That paralysed man stood up, picked up his mat and went home. Absolutely amazing. Jesus showed that he had authority to forgive sins. But then, of course, Jesus saw in that man lying before him that man's biggest need. And it wasn't that he was paralysed. It was that he needed forgiveness. Forgiveness for his sin, for the things he'd thought in his heart and in his mind. Not that he was paralysed, but his need of forgiveness. And then Jesus went on, he saw a man called Levi, who was a tax collector, and he said to Levi, follow me. And just the same as that paralysed man, Levi stood up, he got up, and he followed Jesus. You see, Jesus had come like a doctor, and like a doctor might come to your house, well, would only come to your house surely if you were ill. Any doctor would only go to sick people. Jesus is the same in this sense. Jesus hasn't come to like a doctor wouldn't come to save healthy people. Jesus has come to save the sick people. And actually, like that paralysed man, like Levi, we are all suffering from that disease of heart and mind, that terminal illness of sin. So what's our response? Well, we need to get up and follow him.